Hi, welcome to this episode of Game Creation. So we're going to address an issue that came up yesterday, and it's probably easier if I show you it. So let's have a look. And this is going to happen from time to time. So it looks like it runs perfectly, but if I'm going to do this for the next couple. We're going to stop the maximized and we're going to bring back the heading, right? So we can change the width and height of it. Okay. Now, if I walk down, it works fine. But if I walk across, you can see that something we've coded is actually moving that. Now, the culprit is this line here, okay? Because we're saying we're going to move it to the frame Windows X size -10 minus width, and that's going to constantly do that. We actually only want it to do that at the start, and this is going to be an issue because if we resize it, then it's not going to update, but people shouldn't really be resizing their monitors anyway. That's not really a thing that people do often. So you can see if we resize it, it will actually stay where it is, and you've got to reset it for it to move to the right position. But if we move to the right now, you can see it behaves itself and sticks where it is. Yeah, so that's a solution to that. It would be nice if we don't need to reset it every time we want to move that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the always event, and I'm just going to copy this back to there. But what we want to do is get rid of all of the stuff to the left hand side, right? So we're going to include in this the left hand side stuff, right? So we're going to add all of the coordinate of the x coordinate of the left visible edge, and we're going to add that, okay? And if we run it now, you can see that it works perfectly, but if we resize it now, it will put it right in the right position. Now, this is not the most elegant way of doing this, because the whole point of us having it on its own layer is that we don't need to worry about scrolling. So there must be a better solution to this. So I'm going to hand it over to you guys to figure out how we keep that to the right hand side, because it is on its own layer. So it is on a layer that doesn't have an X coefficient. So it should be all well behaved and stay there nicely, and yet it doesn't. Because of this condition here. So if anyone's got a nicer, more elegant way of doing this, then let me know in the comments. That would be amazing. Anyway, what I wanted to actually cover today was breakpoints. And if you know anything about HTML, you'll know that the entire web is based on these breakpoints to reach responsiveness, which is why a website works on whatever device you use. So what a breakpoint is basically a point at which you say, up until this point, I want you to do this. And as soon as the screen is wider than this, I want you to do something different, okay? So if we run it now, and I shrink it, that is horrible, right? So we need a point at which we go, no, we don't want that. We want to get rid of the logo and just have the score, okay? So the way of doing that is to, well, first of all, figure out where that point is. So we're going to include the window control, and we'll have a look and see at what point is it not very nice anymore. So I would say the width of 450, okay, so it's here I'm looking at, the width of 450 is the point at which we want to get rid of the logo. Okay, so what I do is I just compare two general values, and I want to get the width. So horizontal size of the client area is equal to 450. Okay, but because it's a breakpoint, right, we want it greater than or lower than. So if it's lower than 450, okay, then what I want to do is just hide. So visibility, make object invisible. Hide the logo. Then I'm going to copy that, paste it, and then I'm going to negate, right? And that's a really quick way. Now, you might not have a negate button because that's quite a new feature, So you have to just write this out manually, greater than or equal to 450. And then well, actually, I think we can negate this as well. No, you can't. I think you can here. So you can negate. There we are. How cool is that? Right, that's a really new feature. So you just need to right-click, visibility, make object reappear if you don't have that feature. So if I run it now, the logo's there, logo's fine. If I shrink it down, logo's gone, right? Bring it up again, logo comes back. And that's it. That's how simple it is to make sure that your app, your game, whatever, works on loads and loads of different devices, right? How cool is that? Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Really, really simple. We fixed an error or a bug that came in from last episode, and now we've got these breakpoints, which actually you can do an awful lot with. And you can do subtle things as well, like it doesn't have to be sweeping changes. Instead of having 3 separate buttons, you could combine them to one button, and it just makes it the difference between like a 1080p monitor and 720p isn't massive. So there's going to be some subtle changes though you'll need to do to make it look like, because the problem is if you've got a full menu for a 720p monitor, as soon as you get to 1080p, it looks a bit sparse, right? It looks like there's a lot of gaps between them. So yeah, like use it as you will. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. If you've got any ideas of a more elegant way to keep that score at the top right, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, like this video if you liked it, click subscribe if you want to see more from us, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final responsive video. Thank you very much.